hands. And if you're in the back, I'm blinded, so I can't see you.
Bec, you're a fan favorite here in Kansas City. You always have been. There were a lot of Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi chants all throughout the fight. And, the crowd was disappointed it didn't go your way tonight. But give us your overall thoughts on how the fight went.
I guess I learned my lesson. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Zeke was tough. She's 18 years old and she's, an amazing athlete. So, I'm disappointed. I hate losing. I'm like a sore loser. Take my ball and go home. But, I guess, I could have done better. Always learn more from a loss and a win, so just back to the drawing board.
So you're going to come back the next fight with more punchy?
Of course, I'm always aiming to punch someone in the face. I guess I did that tonight, it just wasn't good enough.
All right, fair enough.
Do you feel like you won the first and third rounds?
I feel like my dominant position at the end of round one won me that round, and round three, I got in my groove. I always say if it was a fight to the death, I'd win because I'm stubborn. I'm just like a robot and just keep going. But I ran out of time, and I feel like I won round 1 and 3. But obviously the judges are so different, and Mizuki was good. Like she brought it to me. She said she was going to stand and bang, and I'm like, they all say that, but she did. So it's a good fight. But I don't know.
Questions for JoJo? Hello. Congratulations on your win against Homer Center. You seem to be fighting a little reserved. Were you worried about her takedowns coming in?
Yeah, obviously I knew she'd been wrestling all her days, and I'm known as a striker all my days, so it was in the back of my head, and I felt it a wee bit. I was on the ball, but I still got the win at the end of the day.
Anybody else have a question?
Another one from Mark. Shannon, have you decided what titles will be defended at the next event?
No, not exactly yet, but in the next couple of days, this has been a really busy time for us. I mean, it seems like we just turned a year old and it's been nonstop. So, I think I need to take a step back and kind of look at a lot of things, right? In the next couple of weeks and just see what we're going to do, what our next day is, and all that kind of stuff. So, but I will be sure and let you know, I promise.
Thank you.
Are you growing fast enough? Are you growing too quickly, or how's the pace of the advancement of Invicta going for you? I mean,
wow.
How do you feel about that?
It's just like wow, just wow. With that fast, we have grown by leaps and bounds. Can you name any other promotion out there that's been in business for a year? Over the years that just went like we have.
No.
It's amazing, and that growth. I'm a tightwad. We do. My staff is really. It's not being a tightwad. It's more about looking at the budget to sustain the organization to make sure each one of these athletes have what they need. So we've had a lot of growing pains. We certainly need more staff. We need a lot of things, but those are the things I'm going to reflect on. We're going to make some steps forward in the next few weeks. So.
Does the big talent, such as Cyborg, come to you? Are you going after them?
We have to understand, Cyborg was one of my athletes as well as Marloes Kuhn
Sure.
as a matchmaker strike force. So, yeah, definitely. Where I went, they followed, and I'm delighted to have them because, in my opinion, and yes, I'm going to say this on the record, that those two athletes are the baddest athletes in the world at that heavier weight division. It's just. I was giddy, okay, and I don't get giddy. But when that fight, when they were ready to fight, I was absolutely giddy with excitement. I wanted to see that rematch for, I matched the first one and I was there. I wanted to see this, and to have that fight under, my banner was unbelievable for me. So,
Generally speaking, what's next?
pardon me?
Generally speaking, what's next?
Well, like I said, I'm going to take a couple weeks, and we're going to, figure some things out, and then we're going to make a bunch of noise again, because that's what we do.
In town here in Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City is Invicta's home, and, our office, the promotion will be here. Would we like to venture out? Of course, but, we also want to make sure it's a good deal. Because I think, a lot of times people don't understand that once you pick a show up and you start moving around, you incur all these costs, and, we wanted to be smart about it, so.
I'm going to piggyback on that, but I'm going to get a little more specific, and I'm sure everyone here has thought about it, but hasn't asked it yet. So, can you talk a little bit about all of the rumors that have flown around about the Showtime deal?
I get this all the time. The thing is that everybody sees that spot over there because it's vacant, and anytime that Steven Espinozo goes out and says something nice about Invicta, the rumors run rampant. So. And I think it's because we're the only ones who say anything nice about it, which is very flattering, but yeah.
But we're hearing it from multiple sources, and that's the only reason why I'm asking.
Well, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
And I
can sit up here
appreciate
and
that,
be really political, but yeah, nothing is set in stone in any direction. What we want here at Invicta is we want a partner, someone that believes in what we're doing and is vested in it to help get behind and promote and, build a sports franchise for these athletes, because it's important. That's what it's about, is making sure that they have homes and that we continue to succeed so that we can provide that. So, so I've been very selective. I haven't taken offers that have come just for that fact, because we don't want to be one of many, because we are not. We are one, and that's the way we want to stay. So, pardon me.
Shannon, the next event will be on traditional pay-per-view as well, right?
Maybe on broadcast television. Who knows, yeah? So, like I said, I want to take some time, very non-committal, where our next direction is at this point, because we have a lot of options. We're working on a reality series that will be completely different than the format of what the UFC is doing and what Bellator is doing. But it will give an opportunity for these athletes to be more known and to elevate, their profiles in public and all that kind of thing. So we're working on a lot of stuff, because they say we've got a lot of irons in the fire. Just gonna see which one heats up first.
Has the pilot already been shot for the reality show then, or?
We're working on that.
Okay, thank you.
One question for Rose before we finish. Hey there. Hey Rose, you had a super exciting fight against Tisha Torres that a lot of us thought was a fight of the night contender, and you didn't come away with the win, but a lot of us wanted to see you fight against you. Do you know when you're going to be up next?
No idea. All I can say about that fight is just, never again. You can make up all the excuses. You can say, I could have did this, I could have did that, but, there's technical things that I could have done better, but in the end, I feel like, I wouldn't take it back for anything. I definitely, in that moment, there was just something different about that feeling. I just didn't care. I didn't care about anything in that moment. So, at the end, the judges got, I left it in the judges' hands. I let them decide my fate, and that's the mistake that I made. That's the ultimate mistake I made. Leading up to the fight, there's all these nitpicky things everybody stresses over about, oh, did I eat this? Did I drink that? Did I prepare enough? Did I, in the fight, could I have done that? Could I have done that? Yeah, sure. That could have gotten me the win or whatever, but in the end, the ultimate mistake is leaving it in the judge's hands. And that's what I did, so, we just gotta go back to the drawing board and polish a few things, and I know it's a cliche thing to say, but, so what? I'm not gonna change the person who I am. I fought my heart out, and, I wouldn't be satisfied with the decision whether I won or lost, and I'm not satisfied with this.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thanks.
Were you surprised it wasn't a split?
I was a bit surprised at that. The reason I didn't fight any different during the fight, I didn't change my game plan, or I didn't change anything, and I wouldn't have changed anything. I wouldn't take anything back, is because I firmly believed that I was winning. Obviously, the second round, I felt like I had the thought to myself, like, this doesn't look too good, because I was losing my balance and it looked like she's pushing me back. And I could have done some technically things that would have made it more in my favor. But in the end, you can't worry about who's watching or who's, you know what I'm saying. You're the only one that knows really what happens during that moment. So, I definitely was surprised that not only I was surprised that I didn't get the decision. Like when I heard unanimous, like some judge gave it all 3 rounds. I was like, oh wow, they're being generous to me. And then when I heard her name, I was like, oh, okay. But in the end, I did that mistake. That's my fault. I shouldn't have let it go to the judge's hands. And I'm gonna beat myself up for it. But it's gonna make me better. It's not gonna happen again.